Hello, this video is how to change the educational system part 3. Maybe it's just a continuation of part 2, but it's to be, I guess, a little bit more bold in what I said before, in that getting degrees and titles and such, certificates, should be meritocracy based on how you do in tests, and not on somebody's judgment. If you put your hands in somebody's judgment, then it's kind of like going back to the medieval state of serfs and lords, where the lord can kill the serf, if they want to. It's all in the power of the lord. I mean, that's how it is in modern day education. It's all in the power of the teacher. The teacher can fuck you if they don't like you, and you're out, and then you can't get to the next level, because you need the certificate in order to get to the next level. You need the degree in order to you need a college degree to get into graduate school, or you need the teacher certificate in order to get hired as a teacher and all this stuff, so, and it's all about if the teacher likes you or not. So we need to transcend that, and because if we do, we can put the power in the hands of the actual person for their own self, so that they take responsibility for themselves. And because the main motivation I have about talking about this is when I look around and I travel like third world countries and I look at poor people, my heart goes out to them, because they don't make enough money to be able to travel. And you want to, most of the time it doesn't matter anyways, because they probably don't want to travel, but a lot of them do. And so you need to make it possible for people to get up in society if they want to do that. And America is supposed to be a country that's like that, and it is more like that than like a third world country for sure. But what we need to do is look about how we're going to actually make it like that. Take it seriously. And the best way to do it like that is with the educational system, and allow people to get the certificates and the degrees and all this title bullshit. So that they can do it, if somebody has so basically what we need to do is encourage people, like you have like the first person to trek to the South Pole, the first person to climb Mount Everest. Well, you need to have the first person to have a law degree without going to fucking law school. The first person to have a medical degree without going to fucking medical school. All on their own, man. Now talk about inspiration. That's the next level of inspiration. That's the next step to inspiration. Right now, for the beginning, it's stupid shit like put one foot in front of the other, one foot. That's simple bullshit. Climb up to the top of the mountain. Well, how about somebody studying on their own and finding their own thing? Well, how you gonna do that? You need the whole system and somebody to show you and shit. Well, just fix somebody, the government paid or somebody, and I'll do the work myself if I have to. But you put the resources up there. You let, the whole curriculum and the whole syllabi, and the materials right there on the internet. And you just let somebody log in, they do their thing, and then they take the test. You can set it up on the internet where you can't lie. You can't cheat by taking too long. You just have to turn on the video camera. Your webcam looks at you and it does the timer. And you take the class, you pass the test, and boom, you have got the certificate. You are a lawyer. And you never went to law school because you studied your own self. Now, if people can do that, if somebody can do that, and I would love to do that. I'd do it. Just to do it, because if you can do that, nobody can have an excuse to not be doing what they want to do. Nobody can go, oh, but I don't have the money to do the law school. Well, you don't have the money to do it. Why don't you just do it on the internet? Billy Joe Bob did it last year. Oh, really? Yeah, he was only spending $5 a day studying. Oh, really? Oh, okay. And then, and like with the infrastructure these days, you can have like internet connection out in the middle of nowhere. So you could live in you could live in your tent, with a little solar panel up there, growing your own food in this big like patch of dirt that you have there in the middle of the field up in the mountains, and your computer with like the internet connection with the satellite. And you can just spend all day eating tomatoes and on your computer studying all the law, say, or anything, man, anything. Rocket science. Who fucking cares, man? And then you study, and then you take and then take the test, and then you fail. So then you study, and then you take the test again, and then you fail. And then because you can take the test whenever you want. You don't have to take it on somebody's fucking schedule. You can take it on your own schedule. Take the test whenever you want. 4:30 in the morning, drunk off your ass and tripping on mushrooms. If that's how you do it, and then you pass the test, and boom, all of a sudden you're a rocket scientist. You're a lawyer, you're a doctor, and it's all up to you. It's all your doing, your responsibility, your power. Now that's the next level of education. Because look at it. The way we have now with education, you have these Ivy League schools, man. You have they're ranked like Harvard and Yale and Princeton and fucking Oxford and Cambridge and Stanford and Cornell and I don't know who the fuck else. And it's so now it's yeah, I graduated from Harvard, and it's or I have a PhD from Cornell or whatever, and it's oh, you do? Well, let's read it then. Oh, I don't have to have it on the internet for you to read because I have the degree. You see the degree. And it's well, let me read your PhD if you got the degree. So you know what I mean? It's it doesn't make a fucking difference in the society we live in now how good your test was or your score was or your paper was. Because PhDs are supposed to be educational papers that are interesting to read anyway. So why don't you have it on your internet? But it's not about that. It's all about reputation and prestige. And if you get in the old boys network, and then but if you have the old boys network and the reputation and the prestige, and I got in with this group of people and that group of people, it's like high school cliques, and it's playing by their rules. So this guy plays by this rule because he has to. This guy plays by this guy's rule because he has to. So this guy, he's the top honcho. When he dies, this guy takes his place. So it's you move up the ladder slowly and slowly and slowly by playing the game. It's lockstep motion, now when you play somebody else's game, that's what solidifies culture and makes culture not able to progress. Peer-reviewed journals. I mean, somebody's I'm talking about aliens, and all this stuff, and people are what you need to do is stop reading fanciful hearsay, stupid shit about aliens, and just read the peer-reviewed journals about, ancient history, So then you would know that the aliens didn't make the pyramid and that it was actually the cavemen with their stone tools that made the pyramids, because if you read the peer-reviewed journal, that's what they say, And that's what I'm talking about. If you got this whole peer-reviewed, stratified shit, it's not going to be able to move. It's going to get stuck in place like a calcified cyst growing in your heart cavity. It's going to kill you, man. Then the only way that we're going to actually grow as a society is by people outside of this structure living their life in to their own freedom and their own motivation. It's not an accident that most of the people who create new things, invent new things that nobody's ever done before and end up taking over the world, never even graduated college, because college wasn't doing it for them, and they ended up dropping out and doing their own thing, So it's basically people who go to college and graduate college are people who aren't smart enough to think on their own. And in the future, yes, there will always be a place for college and mentors, guiding the way and stuff. But you don't make laws to make it so that it has to be like that, because then you get these tenured professors who got their thumbs up their asses, and it's oh, but I'm tenured, so I can be as big of a dick as I want. And just show up and have little minion guy teach my class for me, and there's nothing you can do, so fuck you, and then and I'll fail you because I don't like you, It doesn't work like this. So basically what we need to do is legally with laws, and maybe I'll have to go to law school or get a law degree in order to change the law, but make it so that legally you can get the degree in anything if you pass the test. And the way to pass the test, well, right now you're on your own, but people, and maybe I'll do it. You create the website to help guide people that's free, and then you do it and you take it. But you don't want to monopolize education. I mean, I can understand monopolizing and creating shit about other stuff, maybe. I mean, not nearly as much, but the first thing you want to free up and make free is to anybody is the education. Anyways, I'm out of time. Hope I made my point clear.